Hello, everybody. I leap back and forward again. So, just to give you an idea, my colleagues and friends gave you the idea where they are. Look at the top of that. They report to the CEO, we report to the chairman. So if they feel far away from business, imagine how far we feel. I'm in the relations with international institutions within Public Affairs Department, which means that I try to monitor what happens in the international arena, a lot going on these days, and try to cooperate with my colleagues to understand how deep and how far the impact on governance, internal governance, can be. Now, again, sorry for that. Here we go. So I'm sure that you have heard of many initiatives that are going on internationally on privacy and data retention. I'll try to highlight the latest and what we envisage as to be the most important that we might be dealing with nextly. Recently, the EU Commission has created this experts group on protection of private data. The creation of expert groups looks like being one of the latest trends in the EU institutions. They create expert groups for everything. And this has been created at the very beginning of December within the Director General of Justice, Liberty and Security, which is in charge for the treatment of personal data and protection of privacy. Imagine that independent experts are Google, Intel, the Dutch privacy authority, and two European lawyers, both based in Brussels and both very expert in privacy issues. The mission of this group is to reflect on privacy matters. These are the very words of the Google representative, saying that, of the commissioner, of the EU Commissioner for Justice, Liberty and Security, saying it's not a question, it's just a question of reflection on the matter. We must have an up-to-date, clear vision. This is why the independent experts group was created. At this stage, it is a reflection on all aspects to identify the major stakes, without specifying the nature of the work, though. So the group's work will continue for 1 year, so it has a mandate for 1 year, at least 5 meetings, and then it will report to the Commission. We are all very anxious to report what about. And now, what are the questions about this expert group? Are we heading towards an European regulator? We have 27 national legislations to harmonize. And a possible objective of this expert group could be the modernization of data transfer outside EU. This could be a very high-level target, considering that EU and non-EU countries have very different approach to privacy. And I think I didn't get all the Portuguese before with our interventions, but I think that Magda Coco hinted to the different approach between the two sides of the Atlantic. And what the business is wondering too about these expert groups' mission is, will they handle with the Internet of Things privacy implications? For instance, you know that the EU Commission just closed a public consultation about the Internet of Things. There was a very beefy document on the Internet of Things that hinted basically on all possible implications all over. And the public consultation was closed at the end of November. And there are strong privacy implications about that. I'm sure everybody in the audience is aware of that. When the tags should be on, off, if the consumers have to know they are wearing tags, and all these kind of things. Now, the second reflection is, you know that about think of the data retention directive. one of the issues that is at stake there is what is the personal data. And this is something that another expert group is dealing with, the platform on the Data Retention Directive, which has formally met for the first time at the end of November. So we are all wondering, what we are wondering is, how will the two expert groups cooperate? And how expert are they one to the other? And the Google view on this EU expert group is that this is a part of general trend toward the adoption of internationally recognized rules for privacy on the Internet. And this is very important to understand because we're not talking about standardization, but rather a minimal international requirements. We are all curious. Consider that Google, Yahoo, and Microsoft recently joined the Global Network Initiative. Maybe you heard about that. The Global Network Initiative is I don't know how, it's an entity they created together with some NGOs to make a reflection of how far a company should comply with requirements from non-democratic countries. Remember the problems Google, Yahoo, and Microsoft had with the Chinese some time ago. So they are trying to gather to cooperate on this. And Google, Yahoo, and Microsoft have presently internet data retention periods, both to commercial and technological purposes, larger than the 6 months, which is the EU national regulators' recommendation. This is a quick reminding about the EU data retention provisions. I'm sure you're all very familiar with that, so I'm having a strong signal of 5 minutes left, so I will skip on that. Now, this is something that could be interesting to have a look at, because I mentioned the platform for electronic data retention for investigation, detection, and prosecution of serious crime. It's this expert group that the Commission formed to facilitate the implementation of the Data Retention Directive. I had the opportunity